working for you. Fox 2 News at 6 starts now.
Hello and welcome to Fox 2 News at 6. I'm Dave Spencer.
And I'm Hilary Golston. You know what it's like out there. Even sitting here in the studio, it's been warm, it's been muggy, thick, dense, some might even say sultry, whatever descriptor you use. You know the summer day has brought all of that, including apparently the threat of storms.
Yeah, don't let the lack of sun confuse you out there. Weather Authority Derek Kevra starting off tonight with a check of the forecast. Hey, Derek.
Hey, guys. Yeah, we've dealt with a little bit of everything already today. Even earlier, well, I should say late this morning, early this afternoon, we saw some rain move through and some thunderstorms affected areas down in Monroe County and Lenawee counties. There were some special weather statements issued. That is like a diet severe thunderstorm warning, so it's a much lighter one. It was issued because those winds were close to 40 miles an hour. At this point, we are still tracking the chance for some rain and maybe even a rumble of thunder as we head through the rest of the evening. Now, off to the north in central Sanilac County, there is a flood advisory, and I increased the radar from a 1-hour loop to a 6-hour loop so you can see why they issued that flood advisory. It's because there was that line of rain that moved through, and it lasted for quite a chunk of time, so it dropped a lot of water, and the creeks and rivers and streams in that area are starting to rise a little bit. So a flood advisory issued. That is not on the same scale as a flash flood warning. It is much more minor than that. But heavy rain affecting areas in central Sanilac County. We are dealing with some rain down into Lenawee counties at this point, including the city of Adrian. Let's widen the map out a little bit and show you the threat zone for today. It's a very interesting zone. And what else is interesting about it? I want you to take a look at this darker green. So that is where the anticipation for thunderstorms is, and that is exactly where those thunderstorms have formed. But you'll notice that we are kind of on the outside looking in. Most of the energy creating those storms down to our south in parts of central Ohio, central and northern Indiana. Fort Wayne is dealing with that. Now, we still have a little bit of activity out there on the western side of the state. We'll talk about that in a second. But that could bring us some evening and nighttime thunderstorms as well. Lightning strikes in that zone about 621, so that is a more active area across the United States right now. You'll see in the western side of Michigan there is a little bit of that more dark red and orange color. That would be those thunderstorms that could potentially make it across over the next several hours across the state, that is. If that does happen, we're looking at some storms right around maybe 8:30, 9 p.m. Then we should start leaning towards a drier evening. So we'll keep our eyes peeled for a bit of rain out there for the next couple of hours. Slightly drier, maybe a little bump as we head into the overnight hours. Models are hinting at a lot of moisture still in the atmosphere, and we certainly feel that in the way of heat index. It feels pretty darn hot outside with that humidity very elevated for areas across the Midwest. Fort Wayne is showing a cooler temperature because it's raining, but how about Cincinnati at 100? That's what it feels like outside, 100 degrees. All right, our forecast over the next several days, including the end of the weekend. Sunday, 90 degrees. The hottest day in the week is going to be Monday. We'll go to 93, but it will feel closer to 97. It's going to be quite hot out there as we head towards the early days through the week, and then some relief expected. Very nice Thursday, Friday, Saturday, falling into the upper 70s. Hilary, over to you.
All right, well, let's talk about this now. Rain, as you know, typically reduces the dirt and the dust and particulate pollutants that are in the air. These are known as PM 2.5 particles. Once again, air quality is a concern over southeast Michigan. This is due to the smoke from Canadian wildfires. Now, we are in an elevated range when it comes to air quality rankings. Now, if you are in a sensitive group, so you might have asthma or cardiac issues, probably a good idea for you to limit the amount of time that you spend outdoors. But also, if you do go out, wear a mask. All right, time for us now to turn a little bit of politics. A crowded political field filled with a bit of intrigue and diverse ideas about how to move Detroit forward. We are talking about the race for mayor and other big races.
That's right. Early voting is underway for the August primary, and the city is kicking it off with a block party. Fox 2's Camille Mary is there. Camille, how are things looking out there?
Well, things have wrapped up. There was a bit of rain, but still, it was a great event. But before we look at video and talk about this, I want you to see this really cool street art. Feet in the streets, early voting. We're going to pan over. You see the high top tennis shoes. I love this I voted sticker. Just something to motivate people in Detroit to get out there and vote. Of course, today is the first day of early voting for the August 5th primary. Let's take a look at some video that we got earlier this afternoon of Party at the Polls here at West Grand Boulevard between 2nd and 3rd, right by the Fisher Building. Like I said, there was some rain, but, you know, still people had fun. Kids had fun, really getting people excited to get out there. As I said, today is the first day, so we are talking about the primary is Tuesday, August 5th. So this is the very first day of early voting, and it's really cool because there's 8 different places throughout the city that you can go vote at, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Just show your driver's license, vote for who you want to be the next mayor of Detroit, and then also a lot of other city council people up for re-election and election, and then also important matters that affect the city. But we talked to Janice Winfrey, the city clerk, and some voters. Take a listen to what they had to say.
You can register to vote up until election day, right? You can actually register to vote election day and then vote a regular ballot. Look, you can't make it any easier.
Our ancestors fought for us to vote. It's our right to vote. But the main thing is knowing why and who you're going to vote for. It's important to do your homework and your research.
So absolutely it's important.
A lot of people don't vote though.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate thing. I don't understand why. I don't know if it's a generational thing, but it's very important. We have to determine who our elected officials are if we ever want to see change.
You know, they really said some important things. I mean, if you want to be a part of change, you've got to use your voice, right? And really, I mean, this voting thing, it takes just a few minutes. Do your homework, though, ahead of time before you get into the booth so you know who you're voting for. You're not struggling to figure it out right there on the spot. We've got a list of all the polling locations on our website, fox2detroit.com. So if you need more information, head over there. But exciting times in Detroit as the city picks its new mayor coming up in November. Reporting live in Detroit, Camille Mary, Fox 2.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that very thing in just a second here. Obviously, the August primary is upon us. This is when we typically see less turnout than November. Did you get the sense that there's a bigger push to get the word out there, though?
Yeah, there really is. I mean, a lot of people we talk to, you know, we're just out here. I asked them, are you affiliated with any campaign? They said no. They were just out here to check out the event and really learning the importance of voting in the primary. And really, that's kind of the precursor, right? You get there, you figure out who you want to vote for, and then it's just easier. You know all the issues, you know all the candidates. Then when November rolls around, it just makes it that much easier. But yeah, it's definitely important to get out and use your voice. Yeah, Dave, back to you.
Thank you very much, Camille, for that live report. As she mentioned, Camille, of course, the big race is going for Detroit, in the city of Detroit, for the race for mayor.
Yeah, absolutely. And Democratic vitality, as she was just alluding to, depends on the robust participation of the polity. Now, there is a long list of candidates who are hoping to replace Mayor Mike Duggan. And so, obviously, knowing who's on the list makes a big difference. Duggan, as you might know, is making a run for governor as an independent. The list in Detroit will be narrowed down after primary day. One candidate is dominating in the fundraising. It's City Council President Mary Sheffield. She's hoping to become Detroit's first female mayor. Now, according to the Detroit Free Press, she has raised nearly $1.2 million. Solomon Kinlock, the pastor of Triumph Church, is a distant second. Santil Jenkins, the CEO of the Heat and Warmth Fund, is third.
In Madison Heights now, a man in critical condition following an officer-involved shooting. This happened last night on Brenton Woods near 11 Mile and I-75. Police there were called to the area for reports of a man firing a gun. Officers ordered that man to drop the weapon. Instead, police say he pointed the gun at them. One officer shot him several times. Per department policy, that officer is on leave while an investigation continues.
And Michigan State Police used the eye in the sky to find a missing dementia patient. Now, here's what we know about this. Sterling Heights Police asked for help from Trooper 2 to find a man who was missing in the area of 18 Mile near Utica. The chopper spotted the man in the woods. He was apparently lying down. Trooper 2 is able to direct officers on the ground then to this person. They were able to get to that person and get the medical attention, and obviously all turned out well. Thank goodness.
Pretty remarkable.
All right, more political news. President Donald Trump in Scotland talking trade once again.
Hey, he's hyping up recent trade deals just a few days before a new round of tariffs are set to kick in. Fox's Carolyn Shively has the latest there.
President Trump arrived in Scotland Friday for a 5-day visit to play golf and talk trade.
We'll be staying at Turnberry, and then we're going to Aberdeen, which is the oil capital of Europe, actually.
Trump spoke to reporters on the White House lawn before he left, a week before his hefty tariffs are set to kick in on countries that haven't already come to an agreement. European Union negotiators say they'll meet with Trump this weekend to try to cut a deal.
I would say that we have a 50-50 chance, maybe less than that.
Trump was most skeptical about Canada, America's second largest trading partner.
I think Canada could be one where they'll just pay tariffs. not really a negotiation.
China's deadline isn't until August 12th. Administration officials say they'll likely extend that when they meet next week and dismissed worries that tariffs could spark inflation.
When the experts, these famous experts who say we're going to get inflation, where is it? You know where it is? It's nowhere, because the Chinese need to employ their people, so they eat it.
But Democrats say it's not China eating the tariffs, it's Americans.
The tariffs are hitting our state really hard. Texas is one of the largest trading states in the country. So his tariffs are hitting us a little bit deeper.
The U.S. has collected more than $100 billion in tariffs so far this year. President Trump says he's considering using part of it to issue rebate checks to some Americans. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
History on Wheels could be seen today on Telegraph. The Telegraph cruise has classic car lovers showing off their rides and enjoying the looks and sounds of others. This takes place on the 4th Saturday of July each and every year. The event spans Taylor, Dearborn Heights, Dearborn, and Redford Township. It features the style and the muscle and the luxury that's rolled out of the Motor City and beyond. This runs until 9 o'clock tonight. This, of course, is just one of the many cruises that will take place this summer throughout Metro Detroit. One of America's top-ranked art shows also going on this weekend in West Bloomfield.
Yeah, this is a favorite of people who love fine art. We're talking about the Orchard Lake Fine Art Show, which features competitions as well as feud music, a whole lot more. Fox 2's Erica Francis has that story.
You know, it's a good art show when it's been going on for 22 years. Everything kicks off today. 10 goes until 6. Tomorrow, 10 to 5. Orchard Lake Fine Art Show. I'm talking with one of the artists today. This is Bobby. Bobby, you've been to this show before. Talk to everybody watching about what you like best about it.
Well, this is a great show. The people are really engaged here.
Oh, good.
You know, there's not as many art shows here as like when in Chicago when I do them. So there they have shows every weekend. Here you don't have as many. So people are very engaged, which we artists love.
We love that. We were walking past your tent, and your art just caught my eye because it's so colorful. Tell everybody watching how you make this beautiful artwork.
So this is called fused glass.
Okay.
Very different from blown glass. This is sheet glass. So each color you see comes in a sheet of glass that I cut, layer, and then I cook in a kiln.
Wow.
1400 to 1500 degrees. So when you see these, these are all separate pieces of glass.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that must take you some time.
It's fun. I get to play for a living.
Yeah. Well, how long does it take you to make one of these pieces?
Most of them have to be in the kiln about 6 to 8 hours.
Okay, 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
And you're from Arizona.
Right.
And you find that coming up to Michigan for this art show is worth it for you?
Yeah, this is my 9th summer. I actually get an apartment in Chicago for 4 months.
Oh, nice.
And then I do 3 or 4 shows in Detroit area every year. So, yeah.
Fabulous. And my favorite thing is these little houses. How'd you come up with that idea?
Cities?
Yeah.
Well, the inspiration, I call it the old city. So the inspiration was Jerusalem.
Okay.
But I'm an artist. And as far as I'm concerned, it can be Sheboygan.
Yeah.
It can be anywhere you want, whatever your heart sees.
Yeah, I love
that. So
that.
that's the important thing. So
Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.
We hope you have the best weekend.
Come on out.
All right. He said it. You can come out again today, 10 to 6, tomorrow, 10 to 5. Parking is free. You can find it behind the Corwell Health Building. Admission is $5 to get in. We are in West Bloomfield. Erica Francis, Fox 2 News.
The thing I love about this fine art show is that it's awards winning. People really do come from all over. I mean, he admitted that, yes, it's not quite as expensive as some of you might find in larger metropolitan areas, but we do it pretty gosh darn well here.
That's
Erica's
right.
right. 22 years. That's pretty well done.
Right.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Fox 2 News at 6.
We want to thank you so much for joining us. We're going to leave you with a live look now at Comerica Park. The Tigers, they're getting ready to take on the Blue Jays. They're struggling right now, in dire need of a big win. There are a lot of Jays fans in town, but there's tons of Tigers fans there too. We'll have a wrap tonight after the Dodgers take on the Red Sox. We'll see you then.